Good morning, everyone. Van Gogh here, and Riley checking in on day number 40. Today is Tuesday, June 11th. This was our campsite last night. We are packed up and ready to go. We were fine with warmth last night. I was able to wear my hiking clothes to bed. I did not wear my jacket because it was still a little damp, but ever since I got up this morning and got out of my sleeping bag and started to try to get ready, I have been chilly. It is a chilly morning, and I've been saying, gosh, it is so chilly. It just doesn't seem like it should be so chilly. I didn't have my jacket on last night because it was still a little damp. But this morning I decided I would just put it on. It is still a little damp, but the best way to get it dry is to put it on, and I'll be hiking with it on this morning, so it should dry up over the course of the day. And I'm going to keep Riley's jacket on, at least for the start of the morning, and I'll take it off later on. So that's all for now. Hopefully we can get to Atkins today. I think it's like 17.8 miles from here, so that'll be a big day for us, but it'd be nice to get there. Mexican restaurant closes at 9 p.m. tonight, so if we want to get some Mexican food, we need to get there between 7 and 8 p.m., I think. So we'll see what happens. Well, I'll provide updates during the day, and we'll see how it goes. All right, bye for now. It's hard to see, but there is a deer in the brush up there. Just a few specks of tan and white in between the green. That's what Riley's barking at. The deer is just standing still. It's not running away. Come on, buddy. Let's continue on, Riley. So, we are officially in midday now. I still have not looked at the time, so I don't know what time it is, but it's definitely mid-afternoon. The chilliness of the morning has completely evaporated, and at times it has felt hot, but we're in the shade here, so it feels okay. It doesn't feel hot, but it's definitely not chilly anymore. We have passed Partnership Shelter and the Mount Rogers Visitor Center. There were people there. I would have taken some pictures of it, but there were people at the shelter and also at the visitor center, so I decided not to bring my camera out. At the shelter, someone had actually left a container, like an individual size container with a slice of pizza and two buttered garlic breadsticks, which I found, and it was there was no owner of it, so I was happy to eat it. So it was like a pre-meal for getting to Atkins. It was very tasty. My stomach is craving, like, I have plenty of food, but it's all backpacker food. Like, I still have lots of crackers from the place in Damascus, the Buddy's Goodies. Riley's taking a pee break. Lots of crackers and some oatmeal, and it's all dehydrated stuff that you need to add water to. So there's nothing wrong with it, but It's not like the real filling food that you can get in a town, such as pizza or something with actual butter on it, or Mexican food. So that's what I'm getting at when I say, like, even though I have enough food on me, it's still nice to find things like pizza or stuff like that. And my stomach is very appreciative. The trail has gotten a little bit harder since we left the Mount Rogers Visitor Center. The trail has, before this we were going up a big ascent, now we're declining. But there was a long stretch where the trail was pretty rocky, actually. Kind of like this, maybe definitely a little rockier than this, but similar to this, where there's like rocks that are around the size of my shoe, and so I just have to be careful with where to step, and it requires just a lot more thought when you're hiking on this compared to a nice flat trail with fewer rocks. So my mind is just on Atkins. It is like a one-track mind. I mean, I'm not trying to like rush to get there. We'll get there when we get there. I'm just trying to walk at a comfortable pace. But my mind just keeps thinking about getting to Atkins, and if we can get to the Mexican place, then I'm thinking about just getting a nice quality filling meal. I've gotten the veggie fajitas before, and I'll probably get that again. And so that's basically like they give soft tortillas, and they bring everything out on a skillet, and they have a bunch of different veggies that are already like sizzling on the skillet. And Riley, why do you keep stopping in the middle of the trail? And they have some type of like a bunch of beans, and they'll usually have like tomato salsa, like diced tomatoes and sour cream and cheese, and then you just help yourself and pile it on to the soft tortillas however you like, and basically have a bunch of mini burritos. We're supposed to be getting to a road here pretty soon. This sign says State Route 622, 3¼ miles. Okay, so I think that means we're probably getting to a U.S. Forest Service road pretty soon, because usually they have those signs shortly after a road crossing. Anyway, we still have multiple miles to go. Probably about 8 miles to go. Maybe slightly less until we get to Atkins. So just gotta settle in here and hike. Enjoy the trail. Even though my mind is saying Atkins. Anyway. Yep, the road is coming up here. All right, I will check in a bit. Bye for now. So Riley and I are stopped here because Riley's taking a little pee break, but we're just walking down the trail from that direction. Riley, hold up. Trail goes that way, but there's this little sign here, and it says that this is a view of Walker Mountain. Right here. That is definitely a view. I'm not sure which mountain is Walker Mountain, though. That's okay. Okay. You see how Riley likes to get us tangled up here? Oh, Riley, it's not his fault. It's my fault. It's nobody's fault. It just happens. So, it's still, the sun is beating down on my head here. And it's feeling warm. I'm sucking on this packet of Nate's 100% raw and unfiltered honey, which a fellow hiker named Commissioner gifted me earlier today. I was just walking, coming up on our way up to Partnership Shelter, and he was taking a break, and he was like, hey, you want some honey? And he also gave me a couple of lemon ginger candies. It was very, very generous of him. So those are helping me to pass the time as we head on into Atkins. All right, so we will check in later. All right, bye for now. All right, Riley and I are back. I gave Riley some food and some water, just a short while back, and we are approaching Chatfield Shelter now. Oh, and it's right over there, and there's people there, and I smell smoke, so they must be cooking. So I'm going to turn this off, and we'll check in later. All right, so Riley and Van Gogh are back here. We passed by Chatfield Shelter a short while back, and there was a gentleman who was making his dinner at the picnic table, and we said hello to each other, but did not have a long conversation. So just wanted to give an update on the day. So ever since the Mount Rogers Visitor Center, which I did not show on camera, we then proceeded up this mountain called Glade Mountain, I believe. And the trail got pretty rocky for some significant stretches, like really rocky. And so it's good. It was definitely good that Riley and I were doing it in the daylight. It would have been a lot harder if we were doing it in the evening time with less light available. But even in the daylight, it was still challenging to get through. It was just like a whole bunch of rocks had just been thrown down at random, and you really had to just be careful. And I feel like when I'm walking through that kind of section, I feel like I'm almost like a sailor in the ocean, in that, like, or just somebody who's like riding on a boat in the ocean, where the waves are coming at you from various unpredictable angles. And when you're in the boat, you just get like bobbed up and down in different directions. And as I'm hiking through those sections, the uneven terrain causes me to, I just put my feet wherever there's a spot, and I feel like I'm bobbing up and down a lot because just because of the uneven terrain. And so I kind of feel like I'm in the ocean sometimes, just in the sense that I'm bobbing up and down for the third time. Anyway, but since we left Chatfield Shelter, the terrain has smoothed out, at least for now, so it's much more pleasant now. And when we got to Chatfield Shelter, we had 4.6 miles to go to get to Atkins, and we've done at least 0.6 of that. A short while ago, I did turn my phone on for the first time today. Just wanted to check what time it was and see how realistic it is for us to get to Atkins, and if so, what time we might get there. So, as you can see, hopefully, through the trees up there, the sky is still a nice bright blue. But when I turned my phone on a short while ago, the time was 5:50 p.m. and at that point we were almost exactly 4 miles away from Atkins. So if we're able to do about 2 miles an hour as a rule of thumb, which we should be able to do if the terrain stays nice and pleasant like this, then that would allow us to get to Atkins around 7:50, so a little before 8, which would give us time to get to the Mexican restaurant before they close. They close at 9 p.m., so that should give us enough time to get there and to order something and have time to eat it. By the way, I'm assuming that I'm not expecting that they would let Riley in the restaurant, but I think they have like windows, like several windows that look out on the outside. So I'm thinking that it would be fine for me to leave Riley strapped to my pack just right outside the restaurant, and as long as they have windows where I can easily see him while I'm in the restaurant, I should be able to pick out a table where I have constant view of him, so that he's not where he's not allowed to be, which it would be inside the restaurant, but where I can still make sure he's safe and sound. And that way I can still get to enjoy a nice dinner. And then I guess after the dinner, then we would check out the convenience stores and see what we want to pack out for resupply. And I'm sure I can find something like a can of beans or something to give to Riley as a special treat, since I'm getting a special treat in the way of a nice dinner tonight. So it only makes sense for me to find something to give Riley as a special treat as well. And I'm also contemplating, I guess I'm counting my chickens before they hatch here, but I'm also considering ordering maybe like a burrito to go from the restaurant, and then seeing if I can carry it with me. I'm assuming I'll be full by the time we leave tonight, so if I order a burrito to go, I'm considering the possibility of carrying it with me wherever we get to tonight, and also most of the day tomorrow. And then it would be awesome if I could like have it for dinner tomorrow night on the trail. That would be pretty cool if I can make it last that long. But I'm definitely thinking far ahead at this point. The other thing is that I need to remember to get batteries, AAA batteries. Hopefully they have AAA batteries at one of the gas station convenience stores, because assuming we get to the Mexican restaurant and spend the time eating there, it's going to be dark by the time we leave, so I will definitely need my headlamp to be usable. So I should probably check that as a first thing to see if they have batteries for purchase, and if they don't, then I'll probably need to forego the Mexican food and we'll just need to hike on and try to use whatever daylight we have to get to a campsite before it gets too dark. But I do know that, on the plus side, I do know that there is a campsite within at least like 1.5 miles after Atkins, so we shouldn't have to hike very far. And there might be campsites even sooner than that. So that's the update. It's a good news is that we should be able to get to the town in time to get some food. And hopefully the trail stays pleasant like this. I was getting tired walking on all the rocks earlier. Yes, Riley, good boy. Riley was doing awesome. You want me to go ahead, Riley, or no? Okay. No, Riley says I will stay ahead for now. The state of Pennsylvania has a reputation for being a very rocky state, probably the most rocky state on the entire trail, and it has a nickname of Rocksylvania because of it. And from my memory, when I hiked it back in 2018, I did not make it to Pennsylvania in my 2017 hike. But when I hiked it in 2018, I do recall that there was a section of the trail, I'm pretty sure it was in the northern part of the state, that was extended and was extremely rocky, in that it had, like, the trail was basically just a bunch of like jagged rocks. Nothing like this flat terrain with dirt underneath our feet, like I'm walking on now. Just a bunch of jagged rocks, and you just had to be really careful with where you put your feet, to avoid twisting your ankle, to avoid, ideally you'd want to place your foot on the flattest rock possible, as opposed to a jagged and pointy rock that might hurt your foot or maybe even pierce your shoe. So I think that's how Pennsylvania got the name of Rocksylvania. But I feel like the name of Rocksylvania also gives people the wrong impression that the only place where it's really rocky on the trail is Pennsylvania, or in the Pennsylvania region, which is yeah, I feel like that's the wrong impression. I feel like there's definitely places like all throughout the trail that are very rocky, and Pennsylvania is one of them. But it's not just Pennsylvania. So I feel like that's I mean, there's truth to Pennsylvania being very rocky, but it's not the case that the rest of the trail is absent of rocky terrain. So when I get to Pennsylvania, I'm, for the second time, when Riley and I get to Pennsylvania, it will be interesting for me to compare again the terrain in Pennsylvania to what it's like in other parts of the trail, and confirm I guess, reset my understanding as to just how difficult the terrain is up there compared to other parts of the trail. So that'll be something I'll be curious about when we get up there. Anyway, so that's an update. And Riley and I will check in later as we get closer to Atkins here. Okay, so we are still making our way to Atkins, and Riley, come on, big guy. Chatfield Shelter, 1.8 miles, it says. Okay, and we're at a kind of cool part of the trail here. There's a bit of history here. Museum fundraiser, snacks and drinks for sale. Okay, so the AT continues that way. We need to cross the road. But right here, this is an old one-room schoolhouse called the Linda Mood School, and it's dated 1894. It says trail magic here, but I don't think there's trail magic. Starting April 1, schoolhouse will only be open 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. Hikers can stay at the Settlers Museum picnic shelter, which has electrical outlets. Well, that's nice. I don't know where the shelter might be up there somewhere. Anyway. So this is, let me hold my phone to the window here. Sorry, the camera to the window. So there's like a blackboard and desks and something like a furnace to heat stuff up. So just a basic schoolhouse. I was able to go in here when I hiked in 2017 and 2018. I got here during the day and it was open, but now they have it locked. I guess today is Tuesday, so it was open actually just within the last hour, because it says it's open until 5 p.m. But anyway, so this is the Linda Mood School, and it looks like they have a camera up there for security purposes. Very nice. Come on, Riley. All right, we will check in a bit. So since we're here, I figured why not just walk up to the Settlers Museum. I think this is the Settlers Museum up here. So it's like a museum dedicated to early settlers or settlers of the area. I'm sure they're closed, but we're right here. I don't think I actually walked up to this particular museum previously. So yeah, Settlers Museum of Southwest Virginia with 1890 farm and school. So the school is back there, and obviously they're not going to be open, but let's just see what their signs say here. Hold up, Riley. What is this? Is the Riley, I want to back up just a little bit. I know we're on a leash here. All right. Aha, Father's Day out. It's time to celebrate dads. Bringing the whole family, Saturday, June 15th. So that is this Saturday. Today's the 11th. And it's a Tuesday, yep. Nature walks, hayrides, games, farm tours, 1894 schoolhouse lesson, demonstrations, food, music, Settlers Museum of Southwest Virginia, 1322 Rocky Hollow Road, Atkins, Virginia. Very cool. Very cool. And Grub Visitors Center, named in honor of Alpha Lindamood Grubb. So that's how the Lindamood School got its name. She was born in Wythe County, Virginia, April 3rd, 1899. And was the wife of Harry Lee Grubb. She was the daughter of Walter and Laura Corvin Lindamood and the granddaughter of Lewis and Helen Jane Cole Lindemood. Very beautiful house here. And maybe I can peer in. All right, so checking in again here. We are getting what feels like very close to the road that has all the stuff on it. The road that has the gas stations and the Mexican restaurant. We can hear the traffic. It's getting louder and louder, and it's getting me excited. It's got me feeling energized, and the trail is not rocky, it's not difficult right now. But it feels like we're getting to a town. I'm feeling the same level of excitement that I usually feel when we get close to a town. And it's like I'm just kind of gliding with the trail without any effort. I'm just like cruising along. So definitely getting excited here. We passed some railroad tracks a short while ago, and according to my guidebook, we should be, once we pass the railroad tracks, we should be 0.8 of a mile away from the road. And the road, according to my guidebook, it says like US 11/I-81. And then there's an I-81 underpass that we need to go under when we're leaving. Like that's like 0.4 of a mile later when we're leaving Atkins. I remember I-81 is the road that my dad and I drove down for most of the way when we were coming south to drive Riley and myself to Amicalola Falls State Park. So we're connecting back up with I-81 here, I believe, in Atkins. And the other thing is that apparently Atkins is actually part of, I guess, a larger township that is called, or that goes by the name of Gross Close. So I always think of this place as Atkins. That's the way it's labeled in my book, but apparently it is associated or part of a larger area that is known as Gross Close. And there's also a nearby town called Rural Retreat. So Atkins, Rural Retreat, and Gross Close are all kind of like next to each other or related to each other. I'm not exactly sure, but Gross Close sounds, as someone who's not familiar with the area, the name Gross Close sounds kind of odd to me. Doesn't really roll off the tongue very easily. All right, so we'll check in once we get there. And here we are. Just as I remembered it, like we're walking along the grassy part of the trail, and then as I remember it, it just like spits us out right onto the road. And someone left a whole bunch of trash right there. It's all just trash. It's not like trail magic at all. It's just trash. So there's the Sunoco with the convenience store attached, and then just up the road there is the Exxon with another convenience store, and El Burrito Loco, the Mexican place, is attached like right next to the convenience store associated with the Exxon. So this is a good opportunity for us to cross. I'm gonna turn the camera off. We're gonna first check in at the Sunoco and just check out the convenience store, and then head up quickly to the Exxon, and if we need to, we'll come back to the Sunoco. All right, good job, Riley, excellent job. You're gonna get some rest soon. veggie fajitas right here. Very good. All right, Riley and Van Gogh here to close out the day. We are in our tent now, and we have moved on from Atkins. So the primary goal today that I was talking about most often was to get to Atkins and get to the Mexican restaurant. And that goal was accomplished. So we hiked 17.6 miles to get to Atkins. Actually, no, 17.8 miles to get to Atkins. And it was very rocky in stretches, but then it was very easy in stretches, mostly after we got past the Chatfield shelter, which was just a few miles. I guess it was about 5 miles from Atkins. Anyway, so the Mexican restaurant was very good, just as I remember. I had the veggie fajitas, which I've had previously. I noticed that they had, so the food was excellent. I was the only one eating inside the restaurant. It's not a very big restaurant. It's just got a few tables. Riley was fine outside. But yeah, we got out late. We just stayed in Atkins for a while, taking care of, well, me eating and then resupplying at the grocery stores. I'm sorry, the convenience stores at the gas station. So I was able to get Riley's dog food. Just like a 3.5 pound bag at the Exxon. That's all they had. And they also sold pinto beans at the Exxon. The price didn't come up for some reason when the cashier tried to scan it, so she said she could sell it to me for $1, $1 per can. And they had many cans of pinto beans, so I actually got 5 cans of pinto beans. Packed out 3 of them in my peanut and peanut butter jars and fed 2 of them to Riley, which he enjoyed very much. And then we walked back down to the Sunoco gas station, and I got, just to supplement Riley's food, they didn't have dog food at the Sunoco gas station, but they did have cat food. So I got about a slightly over 1 pound bag of cat food, which is not dog food, but I figured it'd be good to supplement Riley's dog food with some extra food, and cat food is the best option at this point. So I got a slightly over 1 pound bag of cat food at the Sunoco gas station, and then I also got some goodies for myself. So I got a pack of Seaver's glazed donuts, which I tried. I just tried the first one just a short while ago, and it is really, really, really good. And then I also got some oatmeal cream pies for myself to pack out, so I have some good snacks for tomorrow. So then we hiked out, and we made it. We had to cross through a farm that had cows in it in the dark. Fortunately, they didn't bother us. We finally got through the farm and to the other side of the fence, so we're safe from the cows now. And there was a campsite right after the fence. So we hiked out 1.6 miles after Atkins, so a total of 19.4 miles for the day. So, long day. It's actually after midnight right now. I was not able to get a new set of batteries for my headlamp. They did, the Sunoco gas station had AA batteries, but they did not sell AAA batteries, and the Exxon gas station did not sell batteries at all. But both of the gas station attendants did look to see if they had any batteries on hand that they could give me, and one of them gave me a single AAA battery, which she had, which doesn't do me any good because I need 4 for my headlamp. So I took the one that she gave me, but I'm just relying on my phone for light. Fortunately, that was enough to get us to the campsite, but I'll definitely have to be careful with it as we walk forward. Okay, I think that's enough as for an update. Riley and I are going to try to get as good a night's sleep as we can, and we will pick it up again tomorrow. So I hope, if you're watching this, I hope you're doing well. Hope you have a good night, and we'll check in again tomorrow. Bye for now.